All right, seeing as it is 4 o'clock, we are going to start the meeting. I will begin with the reading of this here announcement. Any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting, or may transmit the meeting through any medium, subject to reasonable requirement of the chair as to the number, placement, and operation of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. Any person intending to make such record shall notify the chair forthwith. All documents referenced or used during the meeting must be submitted in duplicate to the clerk of the committee pursuant to the open meeting and public records laws. All documents shall become part of the official record of the meeting. Is anyone here today making a recording besides the official recording and Christine's minutes voice recording? All right, so let's go to our first item. If there's no objection, I would like to take the water abatements out of order. All right.
I will go grab Mr. and Mrs. Conlon.
Thank you very much.
Do we get the amount that they're abating, or is it just the $500 charge?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it looks like it's the $500.
Okay, that's what, that's,
Yeah, I was like, it's better letter.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Gosselin, how are you today?
good.
Good. You've met a couple of us, but the counselors here on the Public Service Committee today are myself, Nathan Boudreau, Counselor Judy Mack, and Counselor Karen Hardern, with the department heads from DPW and engineering, as well as a couple of staff members, including the assistant director, make up the Public Service Committee here today. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow you to speak on your behalf for the situation that we're hearing today. After that, there will be a period of discussion, and we usually have the resident leave and get back to them, but a relatively new COVID era thing that we're doing is recording the meetings, so that would make that relatively pointless. So we will discuss the abatement hearing. You'll have your answer today. So we'll, first things first, we'll allow you to explain why you're here.
Okay. I'm the one that took the phone call, so I'll speak first. And I got a call that our water meter was not working, which I had no idea if it was working or not. Our water meter is in the cellar. So I said, fine, whatever. They said they'd like to come out and look at it. So I said, well, you can come and look at it. They said, well, we won't be able to come until next week. And I said, well, next week we're gonna be on vacation. But if you want to come, we'll be home 2 more days before we're leaving. So if you can come within the next 2 days, come on. And in the meantime, I said, I'll have my husband look at it. I don't know what's wrong with it. So, okay. So anyway, he did go down and look at it. And he fiddled with it and said,
that was off.
it was off. It was
off
off the track or whatever. The top was off the track. So he said, it's running.
I
And
just
then-
noticed it was spinning, after I moved it, but,
Right.
we're not home all winter, okay? We're in Florida all winter, and my kids were there for the winter time, but, I'm not blaming them, but that's when we found out it was broken. So they said, no, it's still not working, so someone came in and
Right, yeah.
looked at it and fixed it. And I said, is there gonna be a charge for this? He says, no, there shouldn't be. That's fine, that's,
And
then the next week, we got a bill, right?
the next thing you know,
Okay.
we got something in the mail. Yeah, we got a bill for the,
Water
to
meter.
fix the water meter. So, after that, I think it was a week after that, we got something in the mail saying that we were being charged with fraud or whatever it was, attempting to do something to the water meter so that we wouldn't have to pay our water bill, which is absolutely
Yeah, we've been here for
ridiculous.
35 years.
We've lived in this town forever. We've always paid our bills. We weren't home. We were in Florida for 4 months, our kids were in our house, we don't know what happened to it, we have no idea. But I'll tell you this much, if something fell, I mean, it's in a cellar. If something fell and hit it, if somebody was down there because our electrical panel is there, our oil tank is there, we don't know what happened to it. But I'm sure, and I'll reassure you, that it was not intentional, whatever happened.
We didn't tamper with it.
We didn't tamper with it, we don't know what happened to it, so that's
Yeah,
our
and
story.
we got hit with a $500 fine on top of a $185 charge to fix the meter. On top of a water bill, which total up to be about $900 for 3 months or whatever.
Well, anyway, that's our story. I
Yeah.
don't know if you have something
Yeah.
else to say, but
No, it wasn't, if something happened, it was not intentional.
We happen to have a meter here.
Is that the meter?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is the meter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it was broken, yeah. Oh,
I mean, it looks like there's something that was like a chiseled
oh, yeah.
across the top of the meter in certain areas, whereas
I
if
don't,
something had smacked against it,
Yeah.
it would have been more of a clean break than it looked like a
well,
prior
I'm
mark.
telling you, for $100, to save like $100 on our water bill when we weren't even home, to try to tamper with something, it's
I don't-
ridiculous,
I don't know
really.
what-
I mean, I can't imagine that anybody would do it. Even our kids that were staying there, we're paying all the bills while they're there. So what, why would they do something like that?
They're in the process of remodeling the house.
Right,
And I told them,
but,
we're not gonna be home all winter anyway, so that's when we found out. I mean, we've been, like I said, we've been there for 35 years.
we have no idea.
We used to have a pool at one time, and we'd always mark because we don't wanna pay for the sewer if we didn't have to, so for years we did the same thing, but we haven't had a pool for a few years now, so I have no idea about that.
And that's it?
I have a question.
Okay.
You said when you made the call, they were coming in to check on it like a week or two, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And then you said your husband looked at it.
Yes.
And you said you did something to it. Could that have
Well,
just done it then?
It was, I just noticed it was loose.
Yeah.
So I just kinda moved it. No, I didn't do.
But I'm
any
not
of that.
saying you tampered it to hide anything.
No,
but
I
because
just
you
wanted
were
to see, and then when I
trying to-
moved it, the thing was spinning.
Well, he's
So I
the
said
fixer.
it
He
was,
fixes it.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't know what happened there, I don't really.
No, we,
Was it this loose when it was in your home?
I just noticed it was off, tilt a little bit,
Okay, so
and then I just brought it back, and then I knew the guys, they were coming, but I said it was working, and they said, no, it wasn't, I just seen it spinning after but I don't, something I never go down there, maybe once in a while to hit a circuit breaker or something like that, cause the meter's right over that, my circuit box is right over the meter. And
So what are you abating, the $500 fine?
I'm abating the $500 fine, yeah, because we didn't tamper with it.
and I don't wanna pay for a new, water meter either. I don't know why we have to pay for a new water meter when we didn't tamper with it. I talked to my neighbor that lives across the street, and she said that somebody came and replaced her water meter, and our houses are about the same. And she said that they told her that they were going around to the older houses and replacing them, because we've been in our house for 35
We
years
built
or
it in
36
'87.
years, whatever, so,
I'm the director of public works.
Oh,
The
okay.
reason you got charged for it was because it was damaged.
Yeah,
That's why you
okay.
got charged for it. We would have replaced it for free, because
Okay.
we're trying to replace them out every 20
all
years.
right, that's what
so.
she told me, that
I'm not saying something.
hers had been
But it
replaced
hits cut- could
a
hit
couple
it,
of years
you know.
ago, so she said, so I don't know, why, I don't wanna pay for that water meter either. And I don't wanna pay for that fine, and I want my name cleared. It's kind
Yeah,
of
we-
insulting to think that we're trying to cheat.
Yeah. Yeah. And we pay pretty good taxes too, on top of that.
The 185 was going in and installing the new.
The cost of the meter.
Right. And I did specifically ask him if there was gonna be a charge for that, and he said he didn't think so.
No, there would be,
And he was very good.
He's a meter installer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
it was my decision to charge him for the meter because
Okay.
of the tampering and because it was broke. And it's my job to report this to the committee.
Right,
I
It's,
understand.
you know,
right.
that's why we have this process.
And I understand where you're coming
Yeah.
from, I'm sure people do tamper with them in town, and I don't doubt it, but we're not one of them. You know, people know us in this town, and we're not that type of people, you know.
You've never been in front of the service committee for any sort of abatements before?
Never.
Seems everything's paid up to date, other than this.
There's nothing before it's 2000, after 2016, which is probably when everybody got cool.
So you're asking to abate the 500 and abate the 185?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions? There's a motion on the
Can
table.
I,
I'll
just-
take
I
it.
just have a question. So, had they normally needed their meter replaced, would they have been charged if there was a faulty
No,
meter?
like, if it was a faulty meter or if someone's moving, then we can get out there and get it or replace it,
Okay.
there's no charge.
I'll make a motion. I make a motion to abate the 500 and also to abate the 185.
I'll second it.
All right, any questions on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so you'll receive a letter from the Department of Public Works abating, that's $685.
The letter will probably be a bill or a lack of bill, either or.
Okay, thank you. You made the right decision, honestly,
Yeah.
and thank you very much
Yeah.
for listening to us.
And we understand, it can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the future, if anything like this happens, if your meter gets whacked or something
Yeah.
like that, call
Please report it.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had just got home, we didn't, till we got the bill, that's
Yeah.
when we
And
noticed
if
it.
somebody's staying at your house, just make sure they're responsible enough to
Yeah,
report
well,
it to, or
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, because you don't want to go through this again.
No, no, we don't.
No.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
very much.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes.
No, the second appeal is not here.
Are these always, this is the first time I've ever seen this, are these always CC'd to the counselor?
To the counselor?
Yeah.
To the ward counselor, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I've never received one of those outside of the
No.
I
public
think
service.
that's
Well-
new.
Oh, okay.
I have always done it
Yeah. I don't remember seeing it.
for 20 years.
At least. Wow.
All right,
Should
so,
we continue with the next abatement?
well, we usually used to have it used to the practice that if they're not willing to come out and speak on behalf of their own abatement, we're not going to
Yep.
take it, so with.
They were contacted today, reminded, and didn't intend on coming. so-
With a motion, I'm willing to put it on one more public service committee meeting prior to removing it from the agenda to give them the opportunity to speak on behalf of their abatement.
They were notified prior to today's meeting?
They were notified last week upon scheduling a meeting. and again today, reminded.
And they answered the phone today?
Yes, Jess spoke with both
Okay.
residents.
I make a motion, we dismiss the abatement.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the abatement for 27 Toby Street has been dismissed. Review and approval of the minutes of the prior meetings dated May 26th, 2021 and June 2nd, 2021.
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, those minutes have been approved. Thank you very much, Christine, for writing those. They're good. Department updates, just to let the people watching at home know, we did have a meeting less than a week ago, or approximately a week ago, so the department updates may be shorter than they usually are. So thank you. If there are department updates, Director Dan Arnold.
Just briefly, water project, we have the line crew up on Pearl Street, at the intersection of Smith. They should be wrapping that up, probably by the middle of next week as far as the tie-ins, the main tie-ins. And then be working on the services in the next few weeks. On Pearl, Parker Street, we're down in front of the ale house doing the service and the fire service tie-ins for the ale house and the insurance buildings, and we're slowly walking down Parker Street. We've got from Main Street down to Connors, that's all done. Now we're down to, say, Lafayette Square, and over the next few weeks, we'll be walking down Parker Street till we finish down to Jean Street on those services. Then we're gonna be moving a crew over into the Robelot area again, and we added some more water pipe, which I think I mentioned the last meeting. Douglas Ave, Draper, and Myrtle Street we added, and a small section of Wassop Street for water main project. What that ultimately does is, we're gonna keep a trench on the water mains, on the water work for the winter. Next spring, we'll come back, we'll put together a comprehensive plan and try to do the entire area as far as pavement and sidewalks and whatnot. So I gotta work with the mayor and council as far as coming up with enough funds to pay for that, as far as some of the sidewalks. And I'd like to get that whole area, do a whole neighborhood at once. Vernon Street, the concrete walks are done. They just finished pouring. If you go up Vernon Street and take a right going down the hill down Richmond, there was a small section there that's done. I met with a paving contractor this week, and we're hoping to pave a section of Graham up to Richmond Street across to Vernon Street, and then down Richmond to the bottom of the Lake Street, we'll say. I'm hoping to get that done in the next few weeks. So Vernon Street, that whole area will be wrapped up and finished. And then probably mid-October, I'm hoping to get downtown, at least a binder coat paved from Parker Street, from Main Street going all the way down to, at least down to Nickel Street. And if not, if I can get a little further, I'm gonna try to get as much of that done as possible. We're gonna have trench patches for the fall festival downtown. Talk to the contractor, we're gonna walk the streets, make sure the sidewalks clean, swept, and has a decent patch in that area, at least for the fall festival. Pearl Street will have a trench, and that's the final trench. What you see is what you get. That'll be the final trench. Work going from Smith Street out over 140 out to Pearly Lane. Tree planting. Neil has started tree list.
Yep. We narrowed down approximately 15 to 20 houses that we're going to be purchasing trees for and planting.
Any news on any more tree removal?
That I don't know.
We're hitting it right now, believe it or not. It's still lawn season. We thought we'd be hitting it a lot harder. We're down about 2 guys in the municipal grounds, but we are picking away at trees. You're probably gonna see a lot more when the grass starts growing and we're cleaned up for the winter, so there's definitely a list. And then downtown Bullnose Park, you're gonna see in the next probably week or so, we're gonna be tearing up a section of removing an old flagpole and putting in 3 flagpoles. It was something that the money was transferred over to an account to do 3 flagpoles, Gardner, American flag, and I believe a Massachusetts flag, and doing some concrete work down. You'll see that shortly. Other than that, nothing else going on.
Why so?
All right.
Yeah, I'll give some GIS updates since we met so recently. On the homepage for GIS, if you've been there to log on to see the maps, there's a new map, which is an interactive project map for the city. It has every project you could think of between all the departments that you can click on, and then there's a little page to give you a little blurb about it, so something that might be helpful to see. And right now we're in the middle of re-precincting, which happens once every 10 years, I think is the rule. The state's helping us with that. I imagine at some point it'll come to you for comments on what the original proposal is and if there's any sort of edits that we can make, and send that back to the state. So that should be coming your way pretty soon, I think. And that's it.
Sure, like I said, off the record, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Do you have anything you'd like to update quite yet?
No, I'm just happy to be here. Everyone that I've met through the city it's been a pleasure to meeting.
And what is your official title now?
Senior Civil Engineer.
All right, I knew we changed it.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome to the new Senior Civil Engineer, formerly the Assistant DPW Director.
Thank you.
All right, council requests?
Actually, you just covered one. I was gonna mention, Parker Street from Main to Connor Street. It was a little rough, rough this
Little bit.
weekend. Yeah, little bumpy, and, it was like built-in speed bumps, just the opposite way.
Yeah.
So I was just hoping that,
That's good.
not even thinking of the fall festival, I was hoping that it would be a little bit better over the weekend.
Definitely.
But other than that, yeah, no, I see the progress all the time on Pearl Street. They've been doing a great job, and they look like they're close to wrapping up. But other than that, that's all I have.
Mr. Harder?
Great job.
You are doing great.
Why,
Great
thank
job.
you.
Well, besides my couple of open constituent cases with you guys, I'm also good. Great job this summer, and thank you for putting these two meetings together so quickly, Christine. With a motion, we are ready to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.